This week on the podcast, it's all about camping. No, I don't know how we got on that topic, but what we're really talking about is holiday parties at the Disney parks and Indiana Jones treats. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us, but it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hello, Fran.
Hello.
Team.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good?
It's a long weekend, so,
Hanging
that
in?
helps.
It
That
does.
helps. And we had a long weekend to look
I know.
forward to.
I know. But it'll be a distant memory for those listening because this won't go live until the week after next.
I know. But depends on where they're listening. They would have had their American long weekend in because theirs is a couple days after. And I think they get a really long one.
Yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't
Don't
that be
they?
nice?
Like, let's look at the calendar.
I'm quite Carrie and I started this. She's sitting on her head.
Oh, no, maybe not. July 4th is, I'm in the wrong. Yeah, July 4th is on Tuesday.
Yes.
So does that mean they get off
The Monday?
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday? They go back to work on Wednesday?
I don't know if they get the Monday off. It'd be kind of like us, right? Like if July 1st is a Wednesday, we don't get the Monday, Tuesday off.
Well, that wouldn't be very patriotic.
If you had to go to work for a day in the middle.
Exactly.
I know. Long weekend. That's what I love about as you get close to summer and you get long weekends and it's so nice, isn't it?
It is. And regular weekends that have nice weather versus work weekends with not so nice weather.
Well, the weather, though, here has been a little bit weird because of all these wildfires that are going on in Canada.
Yeah, ugly.
It is.
And this weekend's forecast for our Canada Day long weekend was crappy, I think, and it's going to rain today, but like the forecast a couple days ago looked like it was going to be like soggy soggy from what I saw,
really?
like rainy. And then now it doesn't seem too bad, like a little bit of rain each day, although today looks like it's going to be crappy rainy out, but like that's what we have. Like usually that's our May long weekend. Everybody gets all ramped up to go camping, and year after year after year after year, Canadians go camping, and they're soaked. Like it's the weekend where like everything gets soaked. Like your tent takes till July to like dry out because it's like year after year after year after year. I don't do that anymore because as I got older, it's Marriott or bus. But like when I was younger, year after year after year, it was like the annual rite of passage to go camping.
When was the last time you went camping?
I don't even want to remember.
No? Like the last time you slept in a tent.
Can
you remember it?
No. Well, we used to do it a lot, so it all blurs.
Oh yeah?
But yeah, probably in my 20s.
Okay.
We have had a little like fiberglass trailer thing for a little while we had access to. So that's kind of camping, but that's not in a tent. So I might have done that in my 30s, but yeah, like tarps, and you'd be trying to figure out how to rig up tarp so that like your whole camp doesn't get like totally drenched. And May long weekend after May long weekend after May long weekend.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was kind of laughing like this is probably what's happening this weekend too, right? So it's like, you think you're safe for Canada Day, but nope.
No, I can't even think about. I think we went camping when I was a kid a little bit. When I was really small. And then I don't think I ever went camping again. I went one weekend in my 30s because there was a toga party on an island and we had to pitch a tent if we wanted to go. But that was it. That's like my only time sleeping in a
count your blessings
as an adult.
The only reason I like to go camping like legit is like roasting marshmallows. That's pretty much the
Oh
only
my
thing.
gosh. I
Like
love roasted marshmallows.
I just like to roast marshmallows. That's it. Like if that didn't exist, I would have went camping once and then never went camping ever again.
Well, see, you could do that at a cottage with a bonfire. Well, I guess they shut. So what happens now in the summer with all these wildfires? I guess people are not having bonfires.
Yeah, there'd be fire bans in places
there
for
must
sure.
be.
So
Yeah, because the air's been a little bit like if you go outside, some days when you go outside, it kind of hurts your eyes a little bit.
It was like that late last week.
Which is weird.
Smelled like a barbecue outside.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
And we've been smoking at the south too, but we haven't been seeing that much on TikTok. So I think that
I know
we're being forgiven.
Well, I don't know. I think most people, because we're all apologizing for it. I did see a TikTok or something like that where somebody was saying, leave it to the Canadians. Like every time you meet a Canadian, they're apologizing for the wildfires and the smoke that's coming to us. But I posted something for Canada Day on Pixie Dust Fan, and somebody said something like, you should, instead of celebrating, you should be taking care of those wildfires or something. And I'm like, well, I think they're working on it. Like they're not.
We're just letting them go.
Seriously? Are you going to give me the gears for this on my Disney post for Canada Day? Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, not everybody's very understanding about it, but yeah, that's kind of funny. What else? It's bothering you to sit on your hands like this, isn't it, Carrie?
No, I'm sitting on them.
Did you put your sticky note up to remind you?
No, you'll do that enough, for goodness sakes.
Oh,
you just get goodness. Awkwardness where I talk about camping.
Yeah,
and marshmallows.
Well, we figured it had been a while since we talked about any news or anything going on in not news like that
I was gonna say talk about nothing. Oh wait, that's every time.
Yeah, no, to talk about like news that was going on at the Disney parks and some, there's been some announcements of holiday parties and stuff, and we haven't put in our 2 cents yet.
Have not.
Have you got 2 cents, Carrie?
Well, I wanted to rally about Indiana Jones for a while, but we could talk about about Christmas first if you like.
I haven't seen Indiana Jones yet. I know maybe by the time this goes live, I will have, but believe it or not, we'll have to do a review, but I have not seen it yet.
What's it called? I wrote it down here. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Destiny, yes. Although based on some of the reviews I read, they were kind of like, yeah.
Really? I didn't read any reviews.
I just like, I didn't read storyline reviews, but just sort of people's opinions. They rated as the 4th Indiana Jones movie. 4 out of 5. Oh. Yeah. So it's better than not that the weird one that he did. It's not the worst because we know what the worst one was. And the worst one I think I only saw twice. Like it was so bad. The one with the young kid in it. Right. But yeah. So I obviously I want to see it. I just haven't had a chance.
You need to go see it on the big screen. You need to take a break and go to the movies and see it on the big screen. And then I think you need you should be at Walt Disney World right now because they have so many Indiana Jones inspired things. Like your heartthrob,
I know,
your lifetime heartthrob is inspiring cupcakes.
I know. I did see that cupcake. So, and believe it or not, Carrie, I am tracking. I do have a Google Flight Watcher on right now.
I'm coming for you, Indy. I'll be there.
Only because it's been a while. I haven't been there and I could use a little pixie dust. So I've got a Google Flight Watcher on right now to figure out if I can get there before the end of July. So who knows, maybe by the time this goes live I'll have flights booked.
You'll be there eating a mini cake.
But you know what's hysterical? I have dinner plans in July with like 2 friends who the last 4 times we have tried to schedule dinner, I have ended up like going to Disney instead. So I don't care if I have to fly out the next morning, but
You
I
can't miss
cannot miss
that.
this dinner.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I say, because if you want me to write you a note, do you want me
they'll they will give me such grief if I take off again before then. But yes, I need to get there to see the Indiana Jones stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They've got like merch, but they've got lots of food and
Yeah.
lots of treats. And at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland, they have like a Forbidden Eye turnover. Like they're going all over the place with this.
They
Like
are.
you're seeing, they're like from cupcakes to danishes.
But Carrie, if I'm 100% honest, do you want to know one of the reasons I don't want to see it in the theater?
Why?
Because this is going to sound so irrational, and I have no idea, but I am terrified that they kill him.
Oh,
I'm terrified that he dies in it because, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't watched all the Star Wars movies. When Han Solo died, I was devastated. Like, I don't think you understand the devastation in the theater that took place, not just in the theater, but outside the theater and all the way home. like I maybe shouldn't have been, like, I was so ugly crying that I missed part of the movie because I couldn't stop. Like it was like literally a, one of those cries.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
maybe you need to find out that
bad.
before you go, just to be sure, especially if you're going to be in Florida alone. If you go to watch, you get on a flight tomorrow, you're going to be there alone watching
right?
it.
So, yeah. So I'm a little worried about that. So I'm hoping that, like,
they're not going to kill Indy off.
I don't know, man. I didn't think they'd kill Han Solo either. But I did hear that he said that he felt good about leaving Indy there. Like the place that they left Indy at the end of the movie.
Well, that's good then.
Was yeah, but he was also quite happy they killed. Yeah, but he's the one that talked them into killing Han Solo. So,
do you think and I'm gonna go watch it in the theater too, because I like to watch my Disney things in the theater, on the big screen, preferably. Mm-hmm. Do you think that they, like, how is he going to look? Because he's not a spring chicken anymore. Do you think he
looks fabulous? Well, of course he's going to look fabulous. He looks amazing.
But do you think that they do anything to make him look a little bit younger?
Well, I'm sure they probably airbrush him a little bit, and I'm pretty sure he's not doing all his own stunts anymore. Like,
because on I've been watching on. I think it's on Paramount, like the channel that's through Amazon Prime. Yeah. There's a show called what's it called? The Family Stallone. The Family Stallone. So it's Sylvester Stallone's family. It's like reality TV. And he's up there in age. And there's this one part of the show, like, when they talk into the camera and they get interviewed. Yeah. And I don't know if they have like some sort of filter on his face. Like, you know how we have filters for apps? Like,
if they filtered them in the movie?
I don't know,
like,
but on the TV? Well, but like with the Sly Stallone thing, like we see all different types of footage where he kind of looks like Sly. He's, definitely, he must have had some work done. He looks fantastic. His face looks fantastic for his age. But when he's doing the one interview, like in the room, like the white background room or wherever, where they all sit and do their one-on-one interviews, it's almost like his face is like flawless. And then I keep thinking, like, do they have apps now that they do that for this type of thing? Like, I understand airbrushing and I know that they can do stuff in movies, but like, this is just like reality TV footage or whatever. And he looks like he legit, when he's in those interviews, he looks flawless, like as if he's on Instagram looking at one of those apps, or whatever. TikTok,
I wonder
how
if
they
it's
put
in
those
his contract. You must
know.
make me look 35 years old.
So I wonder. Well, he doesn't look 35, but he doesn't really have, like, he doesn't have wrinkles when he's in that interview. Really? He doesn't have any. Doesn't look like he really has any like lines on his face. Like, it really looks like he's got some sort of like social media filter on his face as he's getting interviewed or whatever. So I wonder, like, but like, you think, Indiana Jones is more rugged. Harrison Ford wouldn't.
He's not that vain.
But I wonder if they would kind of, touch him up a little bit,
maybe
a little bit, to make it more realistic that he's, Indiana, like he's still filling the Indiana Jones persona. Like, I don't know.
He's just fabulous. He's just, and I haven't even seen it. I know. I probably need to get to it one night for sure.
Well,
But
you
yes.
do, so that you can give
Yeah.
us a review. I watched the first movie last night just to get recapped. It's been a long
wasn't
time.
it
So,
fabulous?
I could see why, you might have thought he was a little hunky back then.
Oh, come on, a little hunky. He was dreamy. Oh
Yeah,
my
I think too,
gosh.
what I think too, when I looked at him back then, is like I kind of like try to compare him to like today's leading men.
Oh,
Like,
he's a manly. Do you know, fun fact, do you know that market scene when he's trying to get Marion and he's chasing them all around and they've got Marion in that basket or whatever? There's a whole scene where he was supposed to do this whole whip thing and defeat them all or whatever. But instead, he just brushes his brow and pulls out his gun and shoots them. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That scene? So he was supposed to do a whole whip, blah, blah, blah. But they had done it so many times that day, he was exhausted. So at the end, he was like, I'm just going to shoot the guys. And he did. And it made it into the final cut of the movie. So originally, that was supposed to be a big fight scene.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was one of the coolest moments in the whole movie when he was just like, he pulls out his gun and that was it. Yeah, he's
very
just
cool.
awesome.
Anyways.
Here we go. So yes, we'll have a full review after we see after we see it.
Sounds good. You got homework. You have to go to the movies because we told everybody you were going to go. So see, there's my method to my madness. Anyways, I was going to get you away from your desk and at the movie theater. You got to do it for the listeners, or else
I do.
So upset.
I do.
So upset.
We need to figure out a night to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about these holiday things, Carrie?
So
we got some holiday parties that were released, and you and I have talked at length about our holiday party thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Just to summarize, we used to go to the parties all the time in Walt Disney World back when they weren't so crowded. Mm-hmm. And now they're pretty much crowded all the time. So both you and I are kind of like, meh, I'm not fussed if I don't go to a holiday party. Christmas
and they cost a lot more now too.
They cost a ton of money. It's busy. It's crowded. And we've been there, done that. And it's not like it's new stuff, right? Like it's not like it's a new parade. It's not new decorations. Like it's the same thing.
It kind of seems silly for us to spend the money to go do what we're going to do when we get there, right? Like we're going to just mosey around and.
So like for people who are going once every 5 years or once every 4 years, absolutely they should do the holiday parties.
They're so much fun.
They're fun and there's tons of stuff to do and all that kind of stuff. For people like us that go all the time and we don't take advantage of the stuff that actually happens in the holiday party. So yeah, it's not for us. However,
dum dum dum.
Dum dum. We've got a couple new holiday parties coming out this year.
Yeah, the Disney Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios. So brand new.
Yeah.
And limited, like only maybe 10 or so nights. So yeah, this one's interesting.
It's very
pricey, but it's
again, like I think it's crazy that people spend this, like it's almost $170 per person.
Yeah. And it's the same price is it the same price for every single night? Like it's not like, because they're so limited. Yeah. It's only November and the start of December.
Yeah.
I think 2 nights a week.
Right. And so what, is there a parade, do you think?
So I think I did pull it up. So there's a few things that I thought, I think there's going to be different decor because they're trying to, capture a different like old Hollywood or whatever, right? So I think the design and the decor and the theming is going to be different. They're going, let me click through the shows. So they're going to have the reason why I want to go, a musical variety show with Kermit and Piggy, which is awesome. And I think there's supposed to be other celebrities there.
Yeah, but come on, Kermit and Piggy, like this is a big deal. They're making an appearance.
And then they're going to have I think they're having a sing-along at the Hyperion Theater. It's going to be I think it's going to be Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe, or something. Is that what they
Yes. Yes,
Nightmare?
that's what I read. Yeah.
And then they're going to have the Jingle Bam, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, Jingle something, Jingle Smelly. That's their nighttime
That's
Christmas
yeah, they
show.
usually have that anyway, right?
But I don't think they've had that for like, I don't know. Have they
Since
had it
COVID. But here's the thing, like
pre-COVID?
everything that it was pre-COVID, that's what they had at Hollywood Studios.
Right.
They had Jingle
So
Bell, Jingle Bam.
so what else? I'm clicking through. So that was under the shows. Then
Yeah.
they're having, of course, there'd be no party at Walt Disney World without a DJ. So
I
there's a
know, right?
DJ on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
It looks like there's going to be like street parties or stuff happening on the streets with the different characters. They're supposed to have this a Latin street fair, and then
A
a Hollywood
lively Latin street fair.
lively, and then a Hollywood themed lounge at the Brown Derby, like a jazzy setting.
Yeah.
And then they're supposed to have something fancy going on at the Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Right.
So like,
So
I
it's all
kind
kind
of
of in that area, like that whole street there, which is where they usually have the light show, the Christmas light show going on the Tower of Terror, which I do love. I do love that show.
In addition to it being having Muppet stuff, though, like the reason why I love Hollywood Studios is the front of the park. Like that's what I fell in, like how I fell in love with the park originally. Like I loved just the theming of the park. So like the fact that it's all, Hollywood turn of the century, whatever.
Yeah.
Theming is awesome. The one thing that I did notice that I didn't realize right away was that they also say dress to impress, get glammed up for the occasion and show off your unique style. So are they looking for, like the dapper, they're encouraging like it to be like a dapper day type of outfit.
Which, I don't know. Like I don't understand. So like people who are there on vacation.
Well, they bring their Halloween costumes.
I know. So now are they supposed to bring like some kind of dress up costume?
Yeah, I guess if they want to. It's not like it's not. Yeah, it says there, join us for a night of dapper delight. So it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize
like,
that.
Will you be like, if I decided to go, would I be out of place in my shorts and a t-shirt? Because that's what I'd be wearing.
It depends. You might have to.
Yeah.
Find something dapper.
So I like the idea of it. I'm not sure how it's going to come together. I'm kind of interested to see how the first one goes off, because all of this stuff sounds wonderful, but it also sounds like you got to fit lots of people into small places.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody's going to be on like that lane, and like, are you going to be able to get into the Brown Derby jazz place, or you know what I mean?
Well, I wonder how, we don't know how many tickets will be sold, but I don't know. I kind of like it seems like I like that it's different because like Disneyland has been doing their nighttime shows, right? Like they've had a whole bunch of different themed nighttime events, and they're like, they get, generally, not all of them, but especially the ones lately have been getting like rave reviews because they're just different.
Yes.
Right? Like, so I think, and they kind of go above and beyond with like bringing out characters or doing things that are new. And I think this sort of feels the same way, hopefully. Like it'll depend if it's like jam packed and so crazy you can't,
that's the part
move around, or is it going to be enjoyable? But I like the theme and the ideas that they're doing. And if they are like, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam is, or whatever it is coming back. But generally, if the rest of it is all, something new.
Well, I'm excited that the Muppets are getting some love. Like, I'm excited to see them spotlighted somewhere, which means they're starting to sink some money back into them, right? Aside from just like the Muppets Mayhem and all that stuff. So it's nice to see them getting a spot in the parks. I think it's going to be interesting to see if they sell out these events and how packed they are. Like, they needed something other than the Magic Kingdom parties. They absolutely needed something other than that. Do I think, like, will this be more of a draw for the locals? Do you think?
Probably. Yeah, for sure. Annual pass holders is something new. Anything that's new.
Yeah. I think the problem is at Walt Disney World that they can't control the crowds. Like there are just too many people that want to do all of these things. So their choices are limit the amount of tickets and have a whole ton of people mad that they can't get tickets, or they oversell them and then they're too busy for people to enjoy and experience them.
Well, and I wonder with this, like with this event at this park, though, like I guess depending on how far deep in the park they're doing the programming.
Yeah.
Like it's smaller, it's a lot smaller. So they can't,
it's a smaller spot.
They can't put as many people as Magic Kingdom. So maybe it will be
exactly
hopefully a different experience. I don't know.
And I don't know, like maybe once they try I never understand why they don't just do them every night. Like, why don't they have them or 5 nights a week for 2 months or something like that? I never understand that, because they create such demand for a few nights that it's like the thing, if you don't get it, then again, like your trip's ruined if you don't get the ticket to the party. You know, it's kind of like those crazy dining reservations. If you don't get this, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Well, and I wonder too, the draw, like with doing limited to start, because, you know, people are buying something that, like, especially the vacationers, right? Like they don't know what a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is to this, but like, you know, they can see what it's all about online if it's happened before.
True.
Decide if they want to go. But yeah, I think it'll definitely be a huge draw for the annual pass holders and the locals.
Oh yeah.
New. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do sell out.
Like, as soon as I saw Kermit and Piggy, I was like, oh, Carrie.
Yeah, I'd like to go. Yeah. Well, they had the Kermit and Piggy at the Christmas event at Disneyland a couple of years ago, and that was a hit.
Yes.
Like, it was like really the best part of the night, and everybody said that, right? Like, because they were just surprised, like they never expected to see a bus, like the bus driving down Main Street with all the Muppets on it, right, and touring around the park. Like that was a surprise. So
I do remember you video chatting me from there with that bus.
It was awesome.
It was pretty. Yeah. And what's going on with your Disneyland Oogie Boogie?
Oh boy, we broke the internet.
Seriously?
Yep. I don't know. It's mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling that I can't figure out why Disney doesn't have good enough websites to handle the traffic, first off.
Mm-hmm. Well, they probably think they do. Like, I think it's got to be it's got to be the volume. Like so the tickets went on sale a couple days ago. 2 days before that, they went on sale to the annual pass holders. Mm-hmm. So on the annual pass holders day, everybody was online, everybody was in the queue, all like the entire allotment of annual pass holder tickets. I don't know the percentage or however many, but they sold out. So you think all the crazy annual pass holders, some of the Disneyland people that go like to 3, 4, 5, 6 of the parties or whatever, they all got online, they bought the tickets, they were done. Like by 3:00 or whatever in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time or whatever, they were all gone. So then 2 days later after that, they open up to the general public. Like that, the other process, like 2 days ago, the process worked fine, right? People waited in queues and whatever, but they bought their tickets. So 2 days later, how many people are on the internet in the queue to break that Disney internet? Like they must have, like, was it so crazy? Was it just that they weren't prepared and they didn't they forgot to dot some I's and cross some T's? Or was it that the demand was like, because we bought tickets last year on the annual pass holder day and our friends bought them on the regular opening day and there was no problems. Yeah. So how is it because
like did the volume increase that bad? Oh, like year over year?
These, like, I think last year they all sold out in 3 days. So that's sort of like this new Jollywood Parks thing selling out in a couple of days. Like, yeah. And I know that they're like the occupancy has to be a fraction of what Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
So, but still, I think it's just that it has to be. Like, how could they not be prepared? I'm sure they thought they were. Anyway, so what happened was we all got online and within probably 15 to 20 minutes of it being open, they actually had to pause sales. And and then hours and hours later, they closed the queue and said that it would open later. So they said they'll give us an update on the 6th of July. So whether it opens that day or they're going to open them up the next day, they're going to give people a bit of a heads up, I suppose. And you think like with this type of demand, like if it truly is a demand and the system absolutely can't handle it, which is weird to think that,
Yes.
that they can't figure out how to make a virtual queue hold all those people. But yeah, like it's like they should tier it or something. Like they should have this week goes on sale today, the next week goes on sale today, the next
maybe something like that.
They should tier them maybe by the dates or something.
Like you can't tell me there were more people online trying to buy this Oogie Boogie Bash than there are people on Amazon.com shopping right now.
Yeah, true.
Like how do you know what
around the world?
It just doesn't make sense to me that they can't figure out how to make this work.
I don't know. And there's situations like I know like there's when we do like there's only a couple thousand people attending these events, but like we had and people log in on multiple devices. Like I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I was logged in. We were, everyone was logged in on multiple devices. But like when we do Destination D or we do the pin event, there's only a couple thousand, but we see it sells out in like 15 minutes. I know. Destination D sold out in like 15 minutes when we did the registration that day.
It's so crazy.
Like maybe there's not hundreds of thousands of tickets overall that are getting sold, but the fact is that there's enough people that sell out a 2,000 person event in less than 15 minutes. Like that's got to be on multiple devices. So that, it's got to work. Yeah. But so then I keep thinking, is the demand that crazy?
It must be. And, it just goes back to like all these people saying, oh, Disney's hurting and all these kind of things. They are not hurting. They cannot respond fast enough to the demand of people that want to visit their parks and resorts. They just can't. There's too much demand for Disney experiences. And we totally get it. We know why. We totally know why and could sell them till the cows come home. But it's insane to me how crazy and what a frenzy some of these things can be.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. And we participate. Yep. Yeah. And we participate.
It's kind of crazy.
It is. It's nuts. But then, we'll have to do reviews of it once the parties start and we see how they go or if we go or all sorts of fun stuff in the fall. Tons. Super. And we'll be down there we'll be there in September for Destination D. Mm-hmm. So we'll be there for that, which is exciting.
Yeah, we're skipping. Well, me and you are skipping the Halloween party.
We're skipping the Halloween party, but our friends will tell us how it was because they bought tickets.
We were like, nope,
not doing it.
I think, I'm pretty sure that when I went to the Halloween party, the first times I went, I probably paid like $69 or $70.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So, and now it's like 160, 170.
Like the Oogie Boogie Bash tickets for the day that I need, like, is $144.
Wow,
like
it's crazy, and that's U.S. dollars for us Canadians.
And the Halloween party, as they get closer to Halloween, they cost quite a bit more. And I'm pretty sure, like even I don't know, Christmas party tickets like $175-ish for some of the dates and.
So you add the 30% for the exchange rate. It's insane.
And times it by like a family of 4 or 5.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But
worth it.
That's for sure.
We can convince you what the give and takes could be to fit that into your
absolutely
fit that into your budget.
So did we cover all the important news? We covered Carrie and I's camping adventures. Yeah. We covered Indiana Jones and the fact that there's some treats going on there. Yep. And the Jollywood Nights and
because of the Muppets, yep.
Right. And no, I wanted to talk about not just because of the Muppets, but okay.
Oh, I thought you were asking me if we went through my list.
And the Oogie Boogie.
At Disneyland, yes.
At Disneyland, yes. Party. Is there anything else that we needed to cover in this week's episode?
For me, I think I'm good. I'm sure there's lots of things to cover.
I'm sure there is too. But we'll save that for another episode, another week, Carrie.
Yep.
Okay, Carrie. Yep. It's that time of the podcast.
Yeah.
where we do a jingle first.
If you're a Disney fan, then you should listen to Carrie and Fran. They laugh and chat and help you make a plan. If you're going to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, and you will become a Pixie Dust fan.
Great.
Now we're back from our jingle. Yay. We love that jingle. But it's time of the podcast for Pixie Dust. Carrie, what's your Pixie Dust this week?
My Pixie Dust is, I went cross-border shopping last weekend with some of my friends from work, and we do it once a year, and that's just Pixie Dust enough because we have a lot of fun on our little road trip. The Three Amigos road trip, I call it, in our calendar. Annual road trip. But I had a bit of a start the car moment at the Hobby Lobby.
Yes, you did. Tell the listeners about your start the car moment.
And I was getting a little bit of flack, from friends that when we were across the border and we went to Hobby Lobby, I didn't buy anything.
Right.
Like people were concerned about my well-being. I had multiple people check in. So anyways, this time at the Hobby Lobby, they had, I think they're getting rid of like the company that, one of the main scrapbooking companies, like they're just getting rid of all of the merchandise. So I got two things, but the big thing was it's a die cut machine. It's called a Silhouette Cameo 4. Ooh. And it was $71.99 US.
That's insane.
Which at the Canadian Michaels, because I happened to pop in there yesterday, is $369.99 plus tax.
Wow. And
I got a Big Shot, which is a die cut machine that you roll your die cuts through. And it was $39.99 US, and it's $169 a year at home. So like I pretty much got the two machines for the cost of like one of them. Like once you convert it over, it's pretty much both of those machines were the cost of the one. So that was like a start. Like I couldn't even believe that I got it that cheap, and yeah, I just couldn't believe it. Like
that's amazing.
It was because I keep procrastinating on buying one because I don't want to buy one and like have it sit because I know I'm gonna just slack about it and for that price.
Yeah, who cares? It can sit there and collect dust for all
for that cheap price, and then I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna label everything. Sugar,
exactly.
Watering can, vinegar.
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna label everything just for fun because I really don't even know what the heck I'm gonna. It's one of those things where I was like, I really don't need this, but it was so cheap I had to buy it. But I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do with this? Like, I'm not into making like. Carrie right now is not into like labeling things or doing anything with vinyl. Like that was exciting an idea years ago, but it's like long gone. Like the last thing I probably really want to do is that, but it was so cheap. I was like, it's all right. I'll figure out something. Maybe if it's just to make every 4 years when I get a new laptop, I'll work to put a new sticker on it.
There you go. Who cares? For that price, you can.
Mm-hmm. So that was good Pixie Dust for sure. Like somebody was the Hobby Lobby angels were looking over. That's
awesome.
Sure. What about your Pixie Dust?
My Pixie Dust was I managed to make a trip to the Scottish Bakers this week, which is always fun. Because only at the Scottish Bakers can I get my potato scones and square sausages to make sandwiches.
It's like the weirdest things.
Some bun. What do you mean? It's like the weirdest things.
A potato scone?
Yeah. Like they're little triangles, but
they're made of potatoes.
Yeah, and I think it's potato. I'm assuming it's potato. Yeah, it's kind of like a potato bread. Oh. It's like a potato bread, and you fry it. And I fry it in the same pan as my square sausage.
What, you fry the scone?
Yeah. You put it in the pan with the square sausage so that the fat from the square sausage helps fry your potato scone. And then you put them on because you get rolls there too. I get the light fired rolls. And and then you put some HB sauce on them. You put your square sausage and a potato scone. It's a fantastic sandwich.
No wonder you get so excited when you go there.
So good. One of these days I'll go to the Scottish Bakers, and when you come over, I'll make you a square sausage
I'm
with
coming
potato
over for
scone on a
breakfast.
roll with some HP sauce.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it's so
That's
good.
exciting. And what else
Yeah.
did you get? Anything? What else did you get there? Because
I got a couple millionaire bars just because they make such good ones, which is like the it's like shortbread with caramel and chocolate. Oh my gosh, they're so good. They're so
never heard
good.
of that. Millionaire?
No?
Are
Yeah.
they like baked or they come in a package?
Well, no, they're
Like,
just they're like baked. They're not baked. They're like shortbread with caramel and chocolate on it.
But what I mean is it
Like a
something that
cookie.
they made in the bakery, or is
Yeah.
it like something that's imported, like a
No,
treat?
no, they make it. They make it.
Mm.
And then I bought a couple
Mm.
tarts, like raspberry tarts, because those are so good too. They usually have they have cupcakes. They have everything. They have everything.
I'm gonna go
but I
into
was
the
trying
bakery
to-
that's around here. I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna be like, "Hi, I'd like some potato scones, please." And what's the name of that? And the squares,
Square sausage.
the rectangular sausage, please. And do you perhaps fancy any of those millionaire bars here in this establishment? And they'll probably be like, "Get out of here,
Oh
kid."
my gosh. Well, the millionaire, we used to go when we would go home to see my aunt, and we would go to Tesco or to the grocery store, and they would have like this little box of like bite-sized little millionaire things, and we would pick them up, and then we would eat the whole box because they're just so good with a cup of tea. But yeah, so that was my pixie dust.
Well, that's good. It's a pixie dust. Yeah, that keeps you, because you can have that for a couple days.
I can.
You have the visit, and then you have the sandwich.
Absolutely.
Do you eat it just for breakfast, or is that just any time of day?
Well, you can have it any time of day if you wanted, but it's a good breakfast. It's a very good breakfast. I'll make you one of these days.
Sounds good. You better. I want to give it a whirl. I want to see what this potato bun is like.
Oh my gosh.
Is it a potato or is it a bun?
No, it's not. I'll have to show you a picture of it. Right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening, and we'll be back next week with some more riveting conversation, I'm sure.
Until then, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.